Hello everyone, so this will be a long video. I have a lot to explain and a lot to talk about. So as you know, the Chief Medical Officer, which I would say he should be in an investigation for a good few things, Dr. Tony Hoolahan, has a new job. He's going to Trinity College. He's going to be some kind of person for diseases and things like that, some kind of professor you may say. But you'd be like, I say, what do you think? What would the only Joe take? Well, what would the only Joe take about this? 100, nearly 200,000 euro a year. And guess who's paying for it? The taxpayer, the Department of Health. So you and I are paying the Tony Holohan 200,000 a year. Basically 187,000, basically nearly 200,000. Give or take, and obviously probably get other pokes and all that crack. The usual. And obviously I do recommend Dan the mixtape. He done a video on. He made a very good points. He made all the points that I'm probably not going to say here. But just give my 50 cents on it, I suppose. But yeah, just to say, if you think they give a shit about us, you and me, because time after time we see them with the cronies, catching the phone, the media completely forgot about this. They're more or less saying, "Oh, he's getting this job," and all happy. And this is the thing. Even the Taoiseach of Ireland, would be the Prime Minister of Ireland, doesn't know who said for him to be getting 870. So he doesn't know who signed off, because obviously somebody in the government had to sign off to say, that's okay, the taxpayer left the bill for his pay. So yeah, no cloudy. So even the Prime Minister, apparently, I used the word apparently, because we all know he probably knows, he just doesn't fucking care to tell us, Micheál Martin. And obviously he's covering up for the abysmal thing of Nefford. I will put up a video later on I have to talk about, because Nefford, we can't forget about them. They still have to be held to account for what the decisions they made a few years ago, and asking, were they necessary? What advice did they get that were necessary? Because again, we have to question them. We have to question them, because again, we were all locked up in our houses, businesses were bankrupt, people lost their jobs. It was caused huge impact on people's lives. For the whole being of young people's lives, even too, on the mental health. And we need to analyse all that data and find out was it necessary. But yeah, it's not even funny, to be totally honest. Like, he's receiving this amount of money, and then he probably gets another salary too. So so basically it's just all a pile of bollocks, because we all see the all cronyism. All good little puppets get their money. As we've seen with Robert Watt, the Department of Health, too, getting a big outrageous salary a year. No, let's be fair now. I don't know what they're doing to think that they solve this out of the taxpayer's pocket. Like the only working man who's working longer hours than these people, is getting fuck all at the end of the day, and is getting fucked by the government 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on one his car or anything like that. He's getting fucked. People working, nurses think about that. They're all clapping for the nurses in the door and things like that. But at the end of the day, the nurses are run off their feet in the hospital, and they're getting paid fuck all for doing it really at the end of the day, for long hours and things like that. They're getting very little out of it. To be totally honest with you. And the same with other people too, working hard, working long hours in shops and things like that. And these fuckers are doing fuck all. Like, I don't know what Tony Hoodahan is doing in this world, but he's going to do fuck all anyway. We have to be honest with ourselves. To receive that, again, if he was out, he was out doing something. He's again sitting in an office in Trinity College. Is going to do. He was doing something for the country, isn't it? For worthy of that amount of money, isn't it? Again, I'm sure you agree. He's probably made his money by now. He doesn't have to work another day in his life. He could retire. He could go home and stay at home, instead of prison. But again, but a lot of questions need to be asked, particularly again before COVID, to do with other things. The cervical check, because he was the chief medical officer still when the cervical check controversy, and that needs to be looked into. I do think it needs to be looked into. A few things that he decided. Again, it was never looked into, but I think we should look into it now when we're investigating Nefford. As we should be. We should be getting international investigations. The government, again, I hate to use tribunals or things like that, because it's just a scam at the end of the day. Tribunals and things like that. It's just the government just spending outrageous sums of money to basically find out what we knew already, that the politicians being corrupt. I remember the scandal that brought down Bertie Ahern. What was it? The Matin Tribunal. Yeah, the Matin Tribunal. Cost billions. It cost billions to end that tribunal. And at the end of the day, we found out they're all crooks anyway. So we knew what they were telling us. Maybe we might have found out a bit more, but at the end of the day, it was fuck all. We knew they should have been in prison anyway. But again, they're 1 and 3 around the country in the great country. Did I ever tell you that? But yeah, it's not even funny. it's just you have to question it. But again, the media here, and in fairness to the Irish Independent here, at least they're asking who signed off. At least they're asking the question. They're not saying why does he need this amount of money. What has he done to earn this money? Is it hush money to keep something quiet, or what is it? We need to ask questions. And they think to be asking, barging in Stephen Donnelly's door in his office, demanding him to know, because it must be Stephen Donnelly. It couldn't be anybody else. Let's be honest here. It must be if it's the Parliament of Health, it must be Stephen Donnelly. I can't see it with anybody else, because obviously it has to be the Minister over it. Or I couldn't see Mary Butler over mental health. But it must be either Stephen Donnelly or Micheál Martin. It must be either them two, because it must come from the highest levels, obviously, of government to decide this. Because at the end, it's not chicken money. It wouldn't mind if it was €200 a week or something like that. That's only chicken money, or an only civil servant salary. Which is around maybe €900, €1,000 a week, which is reasonable for an everyday civil servant working in the department. I know a person who works in the Department of, what's the department? The Department of Environment, and he gets 1,700 a week, which is a lot. But again, he should be getting, because again, he went to college and etc. And obviously he's working in the Department of Environment. I think it's to do with pollination or something like that. Pollination or something. Some advisor for some local authority from the Department of Environment. But yeah, obviously that's a decent wage for obviously going through college. That's a fairly decent wage. Fairly decent wage at the end of the week. I don't know why, and again, I don't know how much that would have. Probably 100,000 a year. Would it? Could be. Probably would be over 100,000 a year. He'd be on it. But probably shouldn't put his name into it. But again, it'd be decent enough money, At the end of the day, you keep you going and pay for things, That's what you need. Again, this is going above and beyond, like 187,000 a year. At most, maybe 50,000. At most, being generous, 70,000. Nearly 100,000. That's generous. That's being generous now. I don't know if it's 100,700 and something a week. Would that be over 100,000 a year? I don't know. I'm not good at maths. But I'm sure you would mean that's generous enough. That's relatively generous compared to this, which is insane. 200,000 a year. Like half of us, half of the young people volunteer, for example, trying to buy a house, wouldn't even make that in a year. Who are trying to buy a house, trying to buy a car, wouldn't make that in a year, and they work hours and hours and hours. Take people in retail, for example. They work on minimum wage, basically, fucking getting feck all from the government. The government are hitting them down every day of the week, taking their money away, taxes, and it gets fucking, God knows where it goes to nothing. And this is where it's going to. And these people working hard, they're working very hard, they're getting up early in the morning, they're working late evenings to try and make ends meet. And the government can just hand out this money and be like, oh, look at, he's keeping something quiet for us and we don't want to get out, or something like that. Or cronies just helping each other out. Again, he was a good little boy. He treated the government well. We didn't annoy the government. We give him a pat in the head and give him a few extra bobs to walk on and things like that. Again, this is the country we live in, isn't it? It's just it's a great country. But it needs to be questioned again, as it was reported on OT. And again, OT done some journalism the other night when they were talking about councils. Last week, it was 2 weeks ago. But yeah, the Mahon Tribunal promised more clarity and more honesty with the people of Ireland. And we're basically getting the finger and just saying, fuck you, you're not getting any clarity. Because that's what's here. You think to be out straight away as soon as they said this. Stephen Donnelly's the man to go to. That's what Micheál Martin should be like. Stephen Donnelly's the man the taxpayer should be going to say this is how wages, how this money's been spent. And I wouldn't mind. There's projects that need to be done in Cavan. There's back roads that need to be done, and there's no funding for it. Even though there's been looked for and things like that. And they're saying there's no funding. And this money could go towards that. Helping going towards public works, going towards the taxpayer, making the taxpayer happy. Because at the end of the day, it's not benefiting us to have him in that role. What beneficial is he helping us out with? Let's be honest, what benefit is he having us out with? But yeah, that's just my opinion. Again, let me know what you think. But I do think we should find out who signed it, because obviously somebody said this is okay, even though they must not be well in the head. But anyway, whoever said this is okay, obviously must be Leo or some of his cronies. I'm assuming Stephen Donnelly. I'm an assumption that it's Stephen Donnelly must be. And again, I highly doubt Micheál Martin would know about it. And we're framed that way. I'm being too nice. I think he would have known about it. I'm sure he knew something about it. We couldn't tie his shoes, as Dark Viper would say. But yeah, thank you for watching and let me know what you think, and bye.